Imagine this. You are lying in a quiet room. The day is finished. Nothing more needs to be done. No one needs anything from you right now. Your body is tired, but your mind is still holding on to memories, to worries, to the fear of losing what you love. Now picture this instead. With every soft breath out, you place one thing down, one heavy thought, one old regret, one fear about tomorrow. And as you let these things go, you don't become empty, you become light, soft, spacious, free. Tonight we are going to explore a quiet but radical truth. The more we cling, the more we suffer. The more we release, the more we can finally rest. Most of us have been taught the opposite. Hold on to every memory. Hold on to every person. Hold on to everything. Hold on to every role. We are told that if we let go, we will lose ourselves. We will lose our value. We will lose love. But what if the opposite is true? Stay with me. Because if you listen a little deeper tonight, you may discover that letting go is not the end of your story. It might be the beginning of your true peace. In a few minutes, you'll see how this simple shift in your heart can change how you carry your past, how you live your present, and how gently you walk into the future. For now, just notice your breath. Soft inhale, slow exhale. You don't have to change it. Just notice it like watching a small wave appear and disappear. As you listen, you can close your eyes if you like. Let the words move around you like a calm, warm wind in a quiet garden. Let's begin with something we all know but rarely want to face. Nothing we hold stays. The house changes. The people change. Our body changes. Even our own mind and memories shift and fade like clouds in the sky. Think back on your life for a moment. All the rooms you have lived in, all the faces you have loved, all the objects you once treasured that no longer travel with you. There was a time when some simple thing felt like everything. A favorite dress, a family table, a photograph, a ring. You may have cared for it, protected it, worried about losing it, and then one day it broke, or it was given away, or it simply got left behind in another chapter of your life. The object disappeared. But notice this. The memory did not. The love did not. The meaning did not. They stayed inside you like a quiet lamp that never needed the old object in order to keep shining. Take a slow breath in. Breathe out. Let me tell you a gentle story. There was an elderly woman who had spent her whole life collecting beautiful things. Porcelain cups, old clocks, fine vases, tiny boxes from faraway places. Each object carried a moment, a journey, a celebration, a person she once loved. Her shelves were full, her cabinets were full, her walls were full, and with time her heart became full of fear. Fear of breaking something. Fear of losing something. Fear that if the objects were gone, the memories would be gone too. Years passed, her body grew weaker. The big house became too much. The day came when she needed to move to a smaller, simpler home. The thought of letting go felt like cutting pieces out of her own life. Her chest tightened every time she opened a drawer. Her eyes filled with tears each time she picked up another fragile treasure. Who will I be, she wondered, if I don't have these things around me? One afternoon, her granddaughter came to visit. This granddaughter had spent many years practicing mindfulness and quiet meditation. She did not rush her grandmother. She did not say, "Just throw it all away." Instead, she sat with her at the old wooden table. They picked up one item together, an old teacup. The grandmother held it in her hands. She remembered the friend who gave it, the laughter they shared, the long ago afternoon by the window when they had tea and spoke of their dreams. The granddaughter listened. She asked gentle questions. What did you love most about that friend? What did she teach you as the stories rose? Something subtle happened. The teacup grew less heavy, not in weight, in meaning. The granddaughter smiled softly. "Grandma," she said, "this cup is beautiful. But can you feel that the true treasure is not in the porcelain? It's in your heart. The story is here. The love is here. Even if the cup disappears, this moment we are sharing right now cannot be taken away." They stayed with that truth in silence. Then the grandmother did something brave. She placed the teacup in a box labeled with the granddaughter's name. "This belongs with you now," she whispered. One by one they moved through the house. Every object became an invitation to remember, to bless, and then to release. Some things were given away. Some things were donated. Some things were kept. But something far more important happened. The woman discovered that letting go did not leave her empty. It left her lighter, more spacious, more free to breathe. In the end, her new home was simple. Not many objects, but her heart was full and strangely peaceful. She saw clearly memories are not stored in shelves. They are stored in the soft living space of the heart. Take a breath with that, in and out. This is the first key. Nothing in this world is truly ours to keep. Everything is passing through. When we cling, we suffer. When we hold gently, we can love fully and release with grace when the time comes. But there is another trap that quietly steals our peace. It is not only the fear of losing what we have, it is the endless hunger for what we don't have. Listen carefully here. Even in later life, even after we have already lived so much, the mind can whisper, "If only I had less pain in my body. If only my children visited more. If only I had more money, more energy, more attention, more control." This "if only" voice seems small, but it can fill whole days. We wake up, and instead of meeting the morning as it is, we compare it to some image in our head. We look at our life, and instead of seeing what is present, we focus on what is missing. This is the fire of craving. Not simple wish, not gentle preference, but a tight, demanding hunger that says, until I get this, I cannot be at peace. In ancient teachings, the craving is called a root of suffering. Not because wanting is evil, not because pleasure is wrong, but because when the heart is chained to the idea that happiness lives just one more step ahead, we never truly arrive. Let me tell you another story. There was a woman who devoted her whole life to her family. Her joy was in cooking, cleaning, preparing, caring. She woke early. She went to bed late. She carried everyone's needs in her mind like a long list that never ended. For many years she believed one thing: if my family is happy, I will be happy. And in many ways, this brought her great meaning. She saw her children grow. She stood by her partner's side. Her house was warm and full of movement. But time passed. The children left home. Her partner spent more time in his own world. For the first time in decades, the house was quiet. She had time. The thing she once said she never had enough of. Yet instead of peace, she felt a strange emptiness. Without constant tasks and urgent needs, she did not know who she was. The if only voice returned in a new form. If only the children were small again. If only I still had someone to cook for. If only I could go back to the busy days when I felt needed. One day, while sitting alone at the table, she felt tears rise unexpectedly. She had done everything she was supposed to do. So why did she feel so lost? Later that week, she noticed a small poster at the local community center. A group met every Thursday to knit blankets and scarves for people in need. She hesitated. She almost walked past, but something inside whispered, "Just try." The first time she went, she was shy. She did not know anyone. The room was simple. The women there were of many ages. They talked. They laughed gently. They shared stories. She picked up yarn and needles. Her hands, which had cooked thousands of meals, slowly learned a new movement. Loop, pull, breathe. At first, it was hard to quiet the if only voice. But as the weeks passed, something subtle shifted. While her fingers moved, her mind rested. Not because she forgot her family, but because she stopped measuring her worth only by what she did for them. She was still giving, but from a different place, a quieter, more balanced place inside herself. She realized something profound. Fulfillment was not in the endless chase for more tasks, more roles, more proof of her importance. It was in meeting each moment as it came, stitch by stitch, breath by breath, Her life did not suddenly become perfect. There were still lonely days. There were still aches in her body. But the heavy emptiness began to soften. She discovered a calm truth. Happiness is not waiting at the end of some future achievement. It is available now when we stop running after more and start fully living what is here. Take a breath in, out. Notice this simple fact. Right now, even without changing anything in your life, you can taste a small drop of peace by simply resting in this breath. No past, no future, just this gentle rise and fall. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. It does not mean we give up on growth or health or connection. It means we stop tying our entire worth to things we cannot control. And this becomes especially important when life brings changes we did not ask for. The body slows. The legs fail us. The hands tremble. The eyes blur. We may face illness. We may face loss. We may face a future that looks very different from the one we imagined. At first, resistance rises. This shouldn't be happening. I did everything right. I don't deserve this. We push against reality as if we could argue it away. But have you noticed, the more we fight, what is the more exhausted we feel? Ancient wisdom from both Zen and Stoic traditions whispers a different approach. You cannot always choose what life brings, but you can choose how you meet it. There was once a woman who loved to hike, dance, and move. Her life was filled with mountains, long walks, and busy days. In her late 60s, a chronic illness arrived. Slowly, her legs refused to cooperate. She needed help to stand. She needed help to walk. Everything in her wanted to scream. This is not fair. This is not me. For months, she lived in anger and grief. Every time she saw other people walking freely, her heart clenched. One day, during a physical therapy session, her therapist said something gentle. I know you didn't choose this, but you still have a choice. You can spend your days fighting the fact that this is happening. Or you can turn and ask, given that this is here, how can I still live fully from where I am? At first, the words felt sharp, almost cruel. But later that night in the quiet, she let them echo in her chest. Given that this is here, she realized she had been waiting for her old body to return before allowing herself to feel peace again. She thought life could only be meaningful if it looked like it used to. Slowly, she began to experiment with acceptance. Not passive resignation, not it doesn't matter, but a deep bow to reality as it is. I don't like this, she would whisper, but this is what is true right now. She started noticing small things she had rushed past before. The warmth of sunlight on her hands, the sound of rain on the roof, the way a friend's voice softened when they called to check on her. Pain remained, limitation remained, but the inner war began to calm. She discovered something surprising. When she stopped wasting energy arguing with reality, she had more strength to respond wisely to it. She still went to therapy. She still followed her treatments. But now her actions rose from a place of quiet courage rather than constant rage. This is the hidden power of acceptance. It does not mean we approve of everything that happens. It means we stop tightening around it. We stop adding an extra layer of suffering on top of what already hurts. Acceptance opens the door to a deeper kind of letting go. We begin to release not only objects, not only old identities, but the illusion that we were ever fully in control. And here another gentle secret waits. Non-attachment does not kill love, it frees it. Imagine the sky. Clouds appear. They change shape. They burst into rain. They dissolve. The sky does not cling to any cloud. It receives each one, holds it, lets it pass. In the same way people enter our lives. They stay for a while, they change, they leave. Sometimes by choice, sometimes by distance, sometimes by death. Our first reaction may be to hold tighter, to grasp, to demand, stay the same, stay with me, don't change. But deep down, we know we cannot freeze time. Non-attachment says this: love fully. Be present. Care deeply. But do not build your whole self on something that must eventually change. When we cling, fear is always near. Fear of losing. Fear of being abandoned. Fear of being alone. When we love with open hands, we can honor the beauty of what is here now without being destroyed when it moves on. The love that truly belongs to you is not chained to a specific form. It lives as a quiet strength in your own heart. It flows through you like a river. People, places, and objects are like stones and branches in that river. They shape its song. They touch its surface. But the river itself is not limited to any one of them. How do we touch this truth, not only as an idea, but as a lived experience? This is where mindfulness enters gently, like a soft bell ringing in the distance. Mindfulness is simple. Being here, with this breath, with this sensation, with this sound. Not trapped in yesterday, not racing into tomorrow. Just here. You don't need special clothing. You don't need a perfect room. You only need the willingness to pause, to notice, to stay. There was an older man who had spent his whole life working and planning. Even in retirement, his mind kept running. He woke up already thinking about what might go wrong. He lay down at night replaying old mistakes. Days passed without him actually feeling where he was. One day, his daughter invited him to try something new. She asked him to sit in a chair, place his feet on the ground, and close his eyes. Just feel your breath, she said. In and out. When your mind wanders gently, bring it back. At first, it felt impossible. His thoughts were loud. Memories pulled him away. Worries shouted for his attention. But he continued. A few minutes each day, he learned to notice the exact moment his mind ran off. Instead of getting angry, he would simply say inside, thinking, and then return to the gentle rise and fall of his chest. Over time, something subtle changed. The noise did not disappear, but it stopped ruling him. He began to notice small joys he had missed for years. The taste of his tea, the sound of birds, the pattern of light on the wall. He still had regrets, he still had fears. But through simple mindfulness, he realized he did not have to hold on to every thought as if it were absolutely true. Thoughts arose, stayed for a moment, passed, just like clouds. He discovered a new kind of freedom. He could watch his own mind without becoming trapped inside it. This is the heart of the practice of letting go. We do not tear things away. We do not force ourselves to forget. We turn toward our experience with tenderness, see it clearly, and allow it to pass when it is ready. As you lie here now, you can taste this in a very simple way. Bring your attention to your breath again. Inhale. Exhale. Now notice one emotion that has been heavy lately. Maybe it is worry, maybe loneliness, maybe anger. Don't push it away. Don't analyze it. Just notice how it feels in your body. Is it tightness in the chest, a weight in the stomach, a tension in the jaw? Breathe into that place. Softly. With each exhale, imagine your breath wrapping that feeling in kindness. You don't need to fix it tonight. You only need to hold it gently instead of gripping it. This is already a form of letting go. Letting go of the war against your own heart. As you practice this day after day, something quiet and powerful grows. You begin to see that you are not your possessions. You are not your titles. You are not even your changing body or your passing thoughts. You are the one who notices. The open sky behind all the clouds. And from this open place, you can begin to travel lighter. You can keep what still serves your life. You can release what has completed its role. You can love people deeply while allowing them to be free. You can honor your past without being trapped by it. You can care about your future without being swallowed by fear. Letting go is not a cold act. It is a warm trust. Trust that you are held by something larger than any one situation. Trust that the love you have given is not wasted. Trust that the wisdom you have grown will not disappear even as your body changes. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you don't need to solve your whole life. You don't need to decide what to keep and what to release. You only need to take one small step. Choose one thing you can soften around. Maybe it is a memory you always replay with blame. Maybe it is a fear about what will happen years from now. Maybe it is an old object you know deep down you no longer need to cling to. With your next exhale, imagine placing that one thing on a gentle stream. You don't have to push it away. You just stop holding it so tight. Watch it float closer, farther. Sometimes it will drift back. That's okay. You can place it on the water again and again until one day you realize it no longer owns you. This is how letting go works. Not all at once, but breath by breath, moment by moment. You are not failing because you still feel attached. You are human. Every time you notice, every time you soften, every time you choose a little more kindness toward your own heart, you are practicing. Letting go is not the end of your story. It is the doorway to a quieter, deeper chapter. A chapter where your worth is not measured by what you own, by what you can do, or by what others say about you. A chapter where peace is not something you chase, but something you uncover inside yourself. As this night wraps around you, allow these words to settle like soft dust on still water. You have carried so much for so long. You have done enough. For the rest of this evening, let life carry you. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Let go just a little of the day, of the roles, of the weight. There will be time tomorrow to think again, to plan again, to choose again. For now, your only task is to rest in this simple truth. You are allowed to release. You are allowed to be light. You are allowed to be at peace right here, exactly as you are in this one quiet, precious moment.